windy as balls out here, man. Oh my lord. What's today? Friday the 5th? February 5th? Groundhog, shadow, 6 more weeks of winter, I guess. From what I've seen on the news, this big polar vortex thing we got coming down, everybody's cold. It's not just us northern states, you southern states are getting some of that too, so now you know what it's like. But anyway, where do we go from here? That is the $1 million question, right? So Congress does their sneaky move and makes it to where we can't ship anything through the post office. They get UPS, FedEx to jump on board. So what's left, right? What's left for us vapors? What's left for the online retailers? What's left for the stores? You know what I mean? Like the brick and mortars. Man, I tell you, they were everywhere. When I first started vaping, like 6 or 7, almost 7 years ago, I mean, they were just springing up all over the place. Every strip mall had a vape shop. Every town had a vape shop. I mean, they were everywhere, and they're all like, yeah, there's a few franchises like Kalamazoo from Michigan, because there's a few of those, or Avil Vapor, A-V-I-L, Avil, I think is how you say it. There's a few of those. Like, there's some playing into the vapes. There's a few of those around. But for the most part, they're all owned mom and pop style vape shops, right? With all the regulations and the taxes that started coming out, and then them trying to do flavor bans in state to state, and this, that, and the other. Like, luckily Ohio wasn't one of those states that did that. They did do the 10 cent per mil tax, right? You know, I don't know, man. There's workarounds to everything. You know, you buy it in 0 milligram and add a Nick shot to it, then you're not paying as much tax. You know, with the flavor ban in Michigan, Kalamazoo's house juice, they would send it to, they could only sell it in 0 milligram, but you could add the Nick shot to it. You know what I mean? Like, there's workarounds. Well, now if they can't get product, what are they going to sell? And that's really what it comes down to. Is DHL, are they even still around? Like the yellow and red company, like I think their trucks were yellow and their letters were red. Like, are they still around? Like, do they still ship stuff? Will they ship our shit? Who knows? Who knows? And that's really what it all comes down to. It's like they couldn't regulate us out of existence because there's workarounds. So what do? They make it to where you can't get your shit. Well, I got news for you. Like, this industry that has become a big industry over the last 10 years, it started from the ground up. You're going to tear us back down to our roots. We'll figure it out. I got news for you. We will figure it out. There's enough smart people out there, and there's enough determined people out there to help each other out, right? Like, I don't want to say like I challenge my fellow vapors or something, but in a way I kind of do. Like, this is what I'm saying right now. I'm gonna go on record to say this. MyVpro is in Michigan. It's not that far from me. I think it's right on the border of Ohio and Michigan. It's a couple-hour drive. Maybe I'll send this to somebody from MyVpro, or I'll email them. I got no problem driving to your warehouse and taking everything out of this van and driving to your warehouse and loading this van up with stuff for people in like a 200-mile radius of my house and a 200-mile radius of your warehouse, right? I have no problem in doing that. Anybody that orders online, if they can't get it shipped, I have no problem going to that warehouse, loading this van. I have a big conversion van that I drive because I have, I have 5 kids at home, right? I got 7 kids altogether. My oldest daughter lives on her own with her boyfriend. They're starting a family, She's making me a grandpa. I'm a little too young for that, but what can you do? She's 20. Well, she just turned 20 3 days ago. I'm the second on Groundhog Day. But, they have their own apartment. My oldest son, he's 18. He lives with his friend. I have 5 more kids at home. I need a big van or SUV with third row seating. Drive me and my old lady and all them kids around. I got no problem taking that van or this van and driving to their warehouse and loading it up with boxes and shipping it myself. Because it's not illegal. It's not like I'm shipping drugs here. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. It's not illegal. This is just people being like, oh, we want to keep it out of the hands of the youth. So how do you keep it out of the hands of the youth? You ship it and make sure the youth aren't getting it. You don't make it to where nobody can ship it and people like me are willing to go do it. But then you got shady people, not people like me, that will go get that shit, take it to kids, sell it to kids. Now you're creating a black market. I'm not trying to be part of a black market. I'm trying to be part of an underground market. Big difference, right? I'm not trying to sell shit that I don't know who made it. I'm trying to sell the same shit that you can buy online, or not sell, but deliver. The same shit that you can buy online and make sure the right people get it in their hands. They're getting the right juice made the right way. They're getting the right hardware made the right way in their hands. That's all I'm saying. I got no problem doing that. Any other online vape retailer or vape store, there's enough companies in this country that make their own juice, right? That have juice lines that are made in California, Nevada, Ohio, Michigan. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there. There's so many out there. If you're in Ohio, let me know. If you're in a border state of Ohio, I got no problem coming to you, picking up your shit and dropping it off to the people it belongs to. I will make a weekend of it. You pay me whatever you pay UPS, whatever you pay FedEx, whatever it is, keep your shipping rates the same. I'll even make them a little cheaper or something. If you think about it, it'll pay for itself. Like, if there's 100 packages and you're charging $4 a package to ship it, that's $400, right? 100 packages ain't that much. Like, we need to start something like that, like a not a black market, but like an underground delivery system, right? Like, we as a community need to come together and link together to be like, hey, look, I have a job in Toledo. While I'm in Toledo, I'm gonna stop by and pick up these 10 packages. I know people that live by me that ordered from there. You know what I mean? Or, look, there's 20 packages that need to go to Columbus. My other guy's going to Columbus. Maybe I'll give him those 20 packages and he can take them down there and let the people know, hey, this is where I'm gonna be, meet me, right? Or somebody else in the community is like, hey, I'm in Detroit. Next weekend, I'm going to Lansing to visit my grandparents, right? If you could pick up this shit from MyVpro, bring it to me in Detroit, there's 15 packages that need to be delivered somewhere around Lansing. I'll take them there. Or I'll take these 15 packages to Lansing. There's another guy in Lansing that's going somewhere else that's driving. He can take him to that place. Somebody else there can take him to that place. Like, we need to start this kind of thing. Like, yeah, it might take a couple weeks to get your shit, but you're going to get it. Like, this is not fair what they're trying to do. Like, this entire industry was started from the ground up. Like, grassroots, free market. Like, we saw a need. We filled it. I've said this before in my other videos. And then the government steps in. Why? Because tobacco companies are losing money. states aren't getting their MSA money like they thought they would. They think they're about to go bankrupt because states like California sold bonds that are supposed to mature and they don't have the money for it because the tax money they thought they were getting from tobacco is gone. I got news for you fuckers. There's a lot less people smoking now, even without vaping, that were smoking before. Eventually, cigarettes are out the window, one way or another. Whether it's through vaping, whether it's through this fucking IQOS, but that's still a cigarette company, right? Like, like the blue e-cigs and shit. Like, how are people going to be getting those? Oh, wait. MyVpro delivers their own shit, right? Cigarette companies have their own distributors. That's what we need as a vaping industry. Like, some of these chain companies need to be able to be like, listen, we're going to deliver our own shit. We're going to buy box trucks and put our names on the side of it. You think McDonald's and Taco Bell and shit like that, like, they're not hiring other courier companies like R&L to drive around their stuff. No, they got their own trucks, their own distributor trucks. They got their own semis and box trucks that they're sending their buns out to their stores for. They do it themselves. Yeah, it's probably a sister company of theirs, but still, like, we need to do something like this. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a mod company, a juice company, online retail store, or anything in Ohio or the connecting states to it, you let me know. I got no problem finding a way to deliver your products. And I said this on Twitter, and I hate to say this now because I know my kids watch these videos and I know their friends watch these videos, but I'm not this person anymore. Let me just start off by saying that. But when I was younger and I didn't have any responsibilities like I do now, because if I got in trouble for some dumb shit now, I got a whole company and, you know, guys that depend on me. I have a whole family that depends on me. Like, I gotta be here. I can't do no dumb shit, so I gotta remember that. But driving around with vape gear and vape juice and dropping it off to people of age is not illegal. There's nothing illegal about that. It's no different than if I was driving around buns, right? But back in the day, I knew a guy that moved to Alabama, and he didn't know nobody there, and he liked to do some things, illegal things, and he couldn't find them there. So he would send me money, he would wire me money. I knew where to get these things, and I would get them, and I would ship them to him overnight. Sometimes through the postal service, sometimes through UPS, whatever was cheaper. I think one time I even sent a FedEx. You know, you go buy a cheap alarm clock from Walmart, take the guts out of it, put what you want inside, put it back in the box, throw some tape on there, take it to wherever, ship it out to him. He gets it a day or two later. He's happy. I made some money, right? There's a way to do things. Like, my whole thing is, like, I don't understand why UPS, FedEx, I get the post office because they're like a government entity, right? They're ran by the government. You know, they're federally employed. Okay, all right, I can get the post office being like, we can't do this because now it's a law. But FedEx, they're not federally employed. UPS, they're not federally employed. They can do what they want. They're a private company, like Facebook and Twitter. Like, they're private companies. So if they feel like shutting down somebody's account or whatever else they're doing, like, which is bullshit, they can do it, and there's nothing we can do about it because they're a private company. I don't know. And I don't like that shit either. Like, silence isn't the best policy. Like, You have to have conversation. You have to have alternating views for people to learn. If you keep it to where this group of people and this group of people can only talk to each other, then they don't learn. They're not learning from the other side. They don't figure stuff out, and they don't grow. And that's what we as a society need right now, especially, is growth. We need growth. We need to learn from each other. We need to learn acceptance from each other. And none of that is happening. Anyway. There's too much of this nonsense. People not learning. People being closed-minded. And all different kinds of things. Not just with the vaping bullshit and with the nicotine bullshit. With all different kinds of things. There's too much of this. And not enough talking. Not enough figuring stuff out. Not enough finding, common ground. Yeah, we as a community, we all need to come together. I was talking to another YouTuber today. I'm not going to say who. He knows who. But we were talking about some things, and then he told me something that he did for one of the subscribers. Really nice gesture, right? He got him, he found out he didn't have certain things, and he found out he didn't have certain ways to do certain things, and he hooked him up, man, and that makes me happy, right? He knows who he is, and he knows what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it because I don't want somebody to see it, and then I don't want to ruin shit. I don't know if it's a surprise or whatnot, and I just don't want to ruin shit. But it's awesome. It's an amazing gesture, and it makes me happy to hear shit like that. And I'm sure it makes him happy to do stuff like that, and it's going to make the other guy happy to get shit like that. And that's what we should all be doing right now, especially in the times we're in. You know what I mean? With all the bullshit out there, with all the stuff with the pandemic and people being out of work, and now, them trying to destroy the industry that we all love so much. These are the things that we should all be doing for each other. If you have it and it's not going to hurt you, I'm not saying go give your last $10 and screw yourself over. That's not what I'm saying. If you have extra stuff that you're not going to use, or you have juice that you don't like that you think somebody else might like, or if you have an extra $10 that's not going to hurt you to give it up, you know what I mean? Do it. There's what is it? It's there's a petition online. It's on Twitter. My Twitter handle is RoadRaging440, right? It's a picture of this pretty face. So if you find it, I'm pretty sure I liked it and retweeted it. If you're on Twitter, go to Twitter. If you're of legal smoking age, which is now 21 or over, which is also another thing I think is bullshit. Fill it out. You know what I mean? It's a petition about all of this stuff that we're talking about with the UPS, FedEx, United States Postal Service not shipping this stuff. And we've been dealing with this pandemic for a year now. The fact that there's still brick and mortars up, the fact that there's still places where you can order what you need, and the fact that you can still get what you need a year later after all these taxes, after all these regulations, after all this nonsense, and this crazy modern day reefer madness witch hunt, it should show everybody how resilient we really are. I get it. We've been knocked down and kicked around by the federal government, by people like fucking Bloomberg, by so many people, powerful people. It's how much can you take, even the best boxer that gets knocked down eventually, he don't get back up. There comes that time. But if his cornermen and the team around him can get in the ring and help pick him up, he can keep on fighting. And that's what we need to do for each other. We need to pick each other up. We need to all fight together. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. And like I said at the beginning, like, what next? What now? Where do we go from here? I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, I'll do. Like, I mean, if somebody needs something and I can give it to them, I'm gonna do it. If you need something, if you're like, I can't find this juice, or I live in this state and nobody will ship it to me, I'll find a way to get it to you. You let me know. We'll work it out. I'll find a way. I used to find ways when I was a younger person to do shit and get away with it for breaking the law. I'll definitely do it now as an older person for the good. I'll find a way. I got away with a lot of shit as a younger person. But I've been to jail, so it wasn't always getting away with stuff. But this is illegal. It's not illegal. It's not illegal for me to go somewhere. Like I know people that make juice, right? So let's say somebody in Columbus is like, hey man, can you find me juice that tastes close to this? Because this is my favorite juice. I need it in 3 milligram. It would not be illegal for me to contact that person I know that does DIY and say, hey, can you find something? Can you make something close to this flavor? And them to be like, yeah. It's going to be this much a bottle. And me say, okay. Tell that person, hey, it's going to be this much a bottle, plus it's going to cost me this much to bring it to you. Or it ain't going to cost you shit for me to bring it to you. It's going to cost this much a bottle, right? And I go buy it, and I drive and meet that person, and as long as they're over the age of 21, I give it to that person and make my money back. There is nothing illegal about that. Or say said person sends her the money, or sends him the money, and they make the juice, and I just happen to have a job out that way and I drop it off. There's nothing illegal about that. That's all I'm saying. So that offer's out there. Maybe I should email some representatives at MyVpro and tell them, like, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to do whatever I can do to help as many people as I can help, is just to keep them from going back to cigarettes. Like, especially, like, there's plenty of us, like I've said it before, like, if it wasn't for me, like, being a collector and a hobbyist of it, I probably wouldn't be vaping anymore, because I could probably vape 0 milligram for a couple weeks and then quit altogether. My cousin did that. He started vaping around the same time I did. So did my best friend Donnie. He started vaping around the same time I did, right? Neither one of them vape anymore. And also neither one of them smoke anymore. So it's like, I started at 24 milligram. I smoke 1.5 milligram. Well, not smoke, right? Let's not call it smoke because I'm not smoking. I'm vaping. But I use or vape 1.5% milligram nicotine now. I told you before how I get there, you know what I mean? But it's like, there's almost nothing in it. But I do it because I want to. I do it because I can. I do it because I like to. So why can't I? Now the government's going to make it hard for people. But people who just got into vaping, that are just started smoking within the last year, it's going to be a lot harder for them to be like, oh, I can't get that flavor that I like, or I can't get these coils, or I can't get this, or I can't get that. But if you have the means, I'd stock up. If you know how to build, I'd buy coils, I'd buy RTAs, RDAs. If you got pod systems, you're a pod person, I'd buy pods that have a RBA section, because it's going to be hard to get coils unless we do something now. Come mid-April, I think it goes effect in April, so you got about 2 months. And hopefully, like Kasa or Safada or somebody that I gave money to can do something. Hopefully we got some lobbyists. Hopefully Mr. Green Conley. Hopefully somebody can do something. Hopefully this can be fixed. But it's not looking good. With all that being said, let's keep our heads up. Let's work together. Let's help each other out. Let's set goals. Try to be a better person tomorrow than what you were today. You know, try to wake up tomorrow in a better position in life and in your head, right? Keep taking those tiny steps, and someday you're going to look back and be like, man, I can't believe 5 years ago that's where I was at, and here's where I am today. Because I do that every day. I look back and say 12 years ago or 13 years ago, I was sitting in a jail cell losing everything that I worked for. And where I am today is amazing compared to where I was back then 13, 14 years ago. It really is. You just got to keep working at it. But that whole story is for another video. Alright, you guys be good. Take care of yourselves. Call somebody just to tell them you love them or you're thinking about them. Alright, I'll be back.